next step is to get on with our experience sharing. So first of all, I have the pleasure to introduce my colleague and friend from our Department of English Language Education here, where Denis Wong is a lecturer. Denis has many years of experience as both a local primary teacher and a teacher educator here at EDU. He specializes in primary ELT methods, e-learning, and phonetics, and he has been a guest speaker at many public lectures and is also the recipient of the Outstanding Teachers Award and has multiple commendations for his teaching excellence. So we're very glad he can join us today to talk about his recent project, Developing eBooks for Young Learners, Diversified Needs in Early Literacy Development. And he's also joined by two of our students here at EduHK, Kelly Chan and Christy Young, who were part of the project. So let me hand it over to you now, Denis.
Thanks, Tim. And hi, everyone. Now let me share my screen first. All right, I guess you can see my screen right now. Okay, hi everyone, this is Denis, and in this part, together with two of my students, Kelly Chan and also Chrissy Young, we will share our experience in an ebook project, which we aimed at enhancing primary one students, especially those who are with reading and writing difficulties, so as to motivate them in English learning and their reading and writing skills development. So first of all, I will give you some background information about the project. Then we will talk about what ebooks are and how they can be implemented in English reading and writing, teaching and learning. Next, we will share some good practice of using ebooks and some teaching implications with all of you. Finally, Kelly and Christy will share their experience of using ebooks to motivate young learners with all of you. All right, and so the project was done in 2021 to 2023, and it was during the pandemic. At the beginning of the project, it aimed to develop a set of e-learning packages, including ebooks and other teaching and learning materials to support primary one students who struggled in literacy skills development. And it also aimed to enhance their interest in learning English. We intended to choose to cater for the needs of students who were in learning diversity during pandemic, because we found that they suffered a lot in that period of time. And also we found that teachers always face significant differences of students in like backgrounds, physical abilities, nationalities, intelligence, values, and etc., which made their work even more challenging in teaching English to those students. So before we start talking about how we can use ebooks to cater for the needs and make it to motivate those weaker students in the classroom, we need to understand the learning diversities categories. So there are mainly three types of learning diversity, including disabilities, difficulties, and disadvantages. And we know that these diversity can be leveraged if the students are facing more than one kind of difficulties in their learning. And also, according to the report from the HKEAA 2019 TSA report, we found that there are more than 1 million, almost 2 million of children who are under poverty. And we can also see that the numbers of underachievers in English, which means who failed to achieve the BCA in TSA, the numbers would get more when they were gradually getting into higher key stages. And this is that's why we found that we should start to interfere as early as possible. That's why for our project, we chose to cater for the needs from P1 students, because it is the first year when they get into Key Stage 1. So why we chose ebooks for catering as a tool for catering the needs of the students, because we found that there are lots of advantages in the use of ebooks. First of all, ebooks are more accessible for students because they can use the ebooks at any time, or they can read it at anywhere, especially during pandemic when the materials can't be delivered to the students when they are at home. So we try to develop those online accessible materials for them to use at home. And ebooks allow interactive multimodal components to be embedded in the electronic books. So the students, the teachers can embed like videos, sound effects, like text, and also messages on and images into the ebooks, so that the students can understand better with the aid of other visual or multimodal aids, and understand the content of the books easier. And there is a reading aloud function which students can listen to the sound or the pronunciations of the words by themselves, and so as to assist them in reading at home. Because we found that for those students who are from less privileged families, they do not have a lot of support from their parents to assist them in reading English books. So these reading aloud functions really help them a lot. And also teachers can tailor-make the content and also the ebook materials because when we use the book creator platform, which allow the teachers to tailor-make and adapt the content to suits their students' needs. So which can make it more applicable to their school contents. So what are ebooks? I guess many of you have used it in your teaching. So the full name is electronic books, and which are created through combining multimodal resources like words, color, images, videos, audios, or layout design. And we can publish it in a digital format. So in our project, we developed quite a number of ebooks. So here is the virtual ebook shelf, which we developed in our ebook project. And so you can scan the QR code and have a look of it. So we have developed more than 10 sets of ebooks with the students and also the teachers' versions. So in the teacher's versions, the teacher can also follow the teaching steps and how to use the ebooks in catering for the needs of the students. And also they can download the ebooks and make adaptation to it. And here are some teaching and learning materials. Together with the ebooks, we have developed some worksheets, lesson plans, and also some online learning games for the students to self-learn at home. So it doesn't mean that they just read the ebooks by themselves, but also at the same time, they can use the worksheets and also use the online platform to self-assess their reading skills development. And at the end, we also have the writing task for them to work on, like on Seesaw and also book creator platforms to consolidate what they have learned from the reading of the ebooks. So here are some good practice of using ebooks from which we drawn from our project. So first, since the ebooks were designed according to the students' their personal experience and also the school-based curriculum, so which would be more relevant to what they are really learning in their general English curriculum. So they can relate what they are learning towards the reading. So it can serve as like an extensive reading material for the students. And also the students can the contexts are really diverse, even though some of the contexts are not really relevant to or exactly match with the school-based curriculum of every single school in Hong Kong. Still, they are really, attractive to the students. For example, you can see from the image, we talk about the toys. We also talk about animals, which are really attractive to students and relevant to them. And also the ebooks were with audio functions, which enable them to read and listen to them at home by themselves, so as to foster the development of self-directed learning. And here you can see some images which we were conducting the ebook lessons in the classroom setting. So the ebooks can be used at home, but at the same time, teachers can use it in the classroom. I know that there are quite a number of schools are using readers with the students. Perhaps in the future, we can also think about how to we can use ebooks in our reading lessons with the students. So you can see the students are really engaged. They raise their hands and they're really attentive to the writing task in the end with the use of iPads and digital tools. With the use of ebooks, students can showcase their creativity and that also they are applying what they are learning, like the sentence patterns and target vocabulary items in the writing their the writing task in the end. So when we think about the writing task, it didn't really just limit to paper and pencil, but we can consider asking them to write on it. And also the students can record what they have written on the on Seesaw platform or on Book Creator. And we can see that the students were very eager to share what they have worked out from the ebook project and then to share their work in front of the class. And their confidence were really enhanced and it was really impressive. We also received some positive comments from the teachers from the seed schools of our projects. So a teacher mentioned that her students were really enjoying the ebook lessons a lot, and the positive learning atmosphere was strengthened, and she could also see that her students were more confident in reading, especially for those who are struggling in reading and writing at that moment. And another teacher also supplemented that her students were more willing to write in English with the use of iPads. So you can see from the the images that will show you the students' work. Basically, students at P1 they may not be very proficient in writing, especially after pandemic they do not have so much time in writing during the kindergarten time. And but with the use of iPads, they will really just treat it as a game or some leisure activity. And they were really engaged with the use of iPads in writing, and also especially they can draw what they have, according to what they have written on the writing task. So this kind of multimodal writing task can also engage the students in writing. And another teacher also thought that the lessons made English learning more fun and interactive, so that the students were more interested in English learning. And it is very important for P1 students because it is also just the start of their English learning journey throughout their life. So we will hope to motivate them at this early stage. So from the whole project, we concluded that the use of ebooks could motivate students, especially those weaker students, with the diverse functions of ebooks, such as the multimodal components. Students were observed to be more engaged and confident and more willing to read and write in English. Therefore, the English learning experience could be more enjoyable and their language skills could be developed throughout the use of ebooks. Finally, there are some teaching implications. So when we use ebooks, we need to think about the facility readiness. For example, do we have sufficient number of tablets like iPads and also the subscription of the e-platforms, and whether our students are ready. But we think that okay, nowadays our students are really digital native. So but before that, we need to ensure that they have their digital literacy developed before they use the platforms. And also we need to consider the readiness of our teachers. So we need to provide them with professional training or support like workshops so that they are ready to use these kind of platforms in the English lessons. And we can also think about the ways of adaptation. For example, apart from writing the genres that we have developed in our ebook project, we can also consider developing other kinds of writing genres or text type for the students, like creating posters or other kinds of writing tasks, so as to make the writing tasks more diverse. And last but not the least, if you or your students are not really an artist, and but you want to include different kinds of images in the ebooks development, perhaps we can think about the use of AI generated images. So on the right hand side, you can see two AI generated images. So you can just simply type in, like, for example, a panda flying in the blue sky or a panda diving in the blue sea, and then it would generate it. It would automatically generate some images for you to choose from, and then you can just simply put it in the writing, and so as to enhance the creativity of your students as well. So this is what I want to share with all of you. And now I want to pass the time to Kelly and Christy, and they will share what they think about ebook can benefit their students in learning from the student teacher's point of view. So I'll pass the time to you, Kelly, and also Christy. So stop sharing.
Thank you, Dennis. Right, so hi everyone, good morning. I'm Kelly and this is my groupmate Christy. We are Year 4 students from the B.Ed English Language Program. We are also the participants and student teachers during this innovative LD ebook project. As pre-service English teachers, we hope to grab every precious opportunity to improve our teaching skills and discover more interesting and flexible teaching tools. That's why we joined this project last year, and during the process, we learned a lot. So we're so happy and honored to share with all of you our experience. So first of all, let me introduce you what we have done during the project. The entire project can be divided into two phases. In phase 1, we were mainly included in the learning and ebook creation stages. We attended several workshops instructing us to use different e-learning tools, especially like Seesaw, TinyTab, and Book Creator. In the following, we tried to amend some ebooks and teaching materials prepared by the preceding cohorts, and eventually, we designed our own ebook and teaching materials. So predictably, in phase 2, we went to a local primary school and had some delightful ebook learning classes with primary 1 students. Now, let's dig into what we have learned during the workshops and editing previous work. By learning different sample ebooks and L2 acquisition theories for early childhood, my groupmates and I were inspired to create interactive work and meaningful output practices like writing exercises to better engage young students' reading and learning. With specific context given, students might know why they need to learn and how they can use and apply it in daily life. This could definitely drill and scaffold them with a proper learning manner that English as a language is used for communication and production, just like what we did in our mother tongue. In order to help students easily access the English world, we can leverage their load by applying simple and repetitive languages in the ebook, provided with colorful and related pictures for visual aids in understanding new meanings. It is similar to the effect of nursery rhymes on them, actually.
As we were inspired by the theories we learned from the workshops, we considered to use them when we were creating our ebook. One of it would be the 4 pillars of learning. In order to provide active, engaged, and meaningful context for primary students, we created a story about a regular healthy school day of a girl and presented it by using colorful cartoon-style illustrations. In this way, students would be able to connect the story to their own lives, while for the social interactive context, which enable more social interactions around the book, teachers' supports in class are needed. For example, teacher could provide individualized responses for students. And now I will further introduce our ebook. First, let's watch a video.
11 a.m. It's time for the music lesson. Today we will sing Do Re Mi. Singing songs and listening to music can make us happy too. Let's sing.
Doe, a deer, a female deer.
obviously, the auditory and visual elements serve for students' multisensory learning based on the cognitive theory of multimedia learning, which suggests incoming information is learned could be learned more effectively when it is processed in both visual and auditory channels at the same time. Besides, our ebook supports independent reading by providing the narration supports and vocabulary and decoding supports. Students could decode the meanings of the target action verbs with the help of the pictures and learn the pronunciations by listening to the audio themselves. Our ebook also provides support for learning to read by using appropriate text-match illustrations and simple layout. And let's watch another video which demonstrates the read to me function of the book creator.
5 p.m.
5 p.m.
Laughing and smiling make us feel happier.
Laughing and smiling make us feel happier. 15.
Okay.
C.
Yeah. So we can see there are two ways for students to read the ebook. They can either click the audio button one by one and explore themselves, or ask the app to help them automatically play all the audio, as well as read the text for them. And these allow self-pacing and repetition. In addition, the AI monotone in this app is actually the main reason why we chose to record the lines ourselves in order to provide a higher quality of narration supports for our students' independent learning. Platforms to teach reading and writing in phase 2 of the LD project. We carry out straightforward classroom language.
Christy, I think you might need to repeat this page because the connection problem.
Hi, Christy, can you hear us? Oh, I guess she's disconnected. Perhaps we can try to supplement this part. Okay, Kelly, can you please also move on, and then maybe we can share a bit about this part on behalf of Christy while we are waiting for her. Oh, she's back. She's back.
Okay, so maybe let me try to introduce. Right. So she is trying to mention that now we will share our reflections on using ebook and IT platforms to teach reading and writing lessons in the phase 2 of the LD project. Firstly, we think the signed scaffolds were useful for us to plan ahead for preparing our straightforward classroom language, giving students direct instructions and guiding them to do the collaborative production with simple and clear steps for supporting the multimodal composing. And after using the ebook materials for teaching in a real classroom setting, we found that more equal learning opportunities could be provided for students with the help of accessible IT platforms under the support of the signed scaffolds. Shared IT platforms could provide more hand-on and collaborative writing activities for students, which enable students to access the same learning opportunities. For example, Seesaw was used as the main tools in our writing lessons after reading the ebook. Through using this IT platform, we can provide maker-centered learning for our students so as to expand learning to producing. It helps students honor and connect to their diverse life experiences, including the knowledge of world and knowledge of self. Also, students are able to give peer feedback and learn from each other's work easily and conveniently on the shared IT platforms. The students we taught were primary 1 students, and you can see they were really and had tried their best to give positive feedback to their classmates. Besides, these e-learning tools provided a platform for teachers to monitor students' learning process, which we could better cater for their diverse learning needs. So students can have their self-paced working time after the teaching stage, and it allows them to design and create their own ebook content with sufficient time and high flexibility. Seeing that students were only required to finish a part of the assignment, the more abled group could try to finish more according to their creativity, while the less abled group could at least try to finish the learning target, which varies the expected outcome. Moreover, we intended to provide students with constructive and instant feedback during class time. We used interactional scaffolding that demanded a lot on offering immediate feedback and teaching support based on students' expected and unexpected learning performance. Throughout the teaching section, we provided encouragement, explicit and inspirational questioning, as well as technical assistance directly according to their reactions. And eventually, we can adjust our teaching strategies respondingly and immediately. What these cute boys and girls surprised us with was their creative and proactive performances. Students could be very creative in the open-ended tasks, and we're glad that we did not limit their imagination. One of the examples would be a unique classroom rule created by a student, as you see on the picture. This student was very observant. He noticed that some students were distracted playing with iPads during the reading lesson. He then created this classroom rule, like for every one of us. As you can see, he wrote, "Do not play iPad." Quite warm, wasn't he? Let's look at another cute example. We asked students to give us a color name to describe the animals they like this one. We expected something like orange tiger or purple frog. Yet, one of the students wrote down a colorful rabbit and drew it out with a multicoloring highlighter. So it was such an amazing work. She discovered the extra drawing function on her own. On the other hand, we observed some minor grammatical mistakes in students' writing occasionally. For example, let's look back to the classroom rules. Can you see something not right here? Let me give you a few seconds. I think everyone can notice that, right? The word note was written in the capital letter N, right? So actually it should not be capital letter. However, in our writing task, we hope to develop students' interests and habits of using English to express meanings. So we just follow up on their mistakes with a warm reminder, fostering students' ability to evaluate their work. And we didn't fail their work harshly. We were trying to maximize the space for their creative writing. So we tried not to let students down through strict grammatical requirements. These kinds of unexpected performances also helped us to train our instructional skills. All in all, we're very grateful and honored to have this opportunity to broaden our teaching knowledge and reflect on our teaching attitudes during this LD ebook project. Appropriate use of some IT tools is also incredibly effective in teaching and learning with diverse students in an authentic classroom. So now we are capable of applying Seesaw, TinyTab, and Book Creator beyond what we are very accustomed to, like the endless Kahoot games, right? And it is worth bearing in our mind that we joined this fruitful project between September 2022 and February 2023, which was exactly prior to our first teaching practice, BP1. It acted like a security system that we could have some practice and classroom management learning before we were teaching as a student teacher in the placement school. It trained our creative thinking for discovering ways to maximize students' learning outcomes and facilitate their learning interests and genuine needs. Currently, we are going to be the final year students, and we hope to see more active research projects like this LD project being held in the future to keep promoting innovative teaching to the next generation and provide this kind of treasurable learning opportunity to the coming prospective teachers. And that's all for our sharing today. Hope you enjoy our story. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kelly, and also Christy. And that's the end for our sharing. And we hope to see you all again during the discussion session. Thank you. Pass the time to you, Tim.
Okay, thank you so much, Dennis and Kelly and Christy, for sharing about your project. Very interesting, a lot to think about when it comes to ebooks in primary and secondary. I have a few questions. I think our participants probably have some questions too, so we'll catch up with you again at the roundtable.